What is up, guys? Welcome to a video that I didn't think I'd actually do at one point, but this video is an overview of my Weiss Schwarz Deck. My wife got me into this game a while ago, and I thought I may as well do a deck profile for myself. So this deck profile is for Fantasia Bunko. It's got a representation of many different animes in it, but this one mainly revolves around Highschool DxD. Obviously, I only ever watch it for the plot. Take with that what you will. So let's get started. So we are going to start off with the level 0 cards. Some of these are literally just deck fillers until I can find something better. And obviously at the end I will go through what cards I would like to add. So the first one that I've got for you is this one, which is the Ultimate S Akano. She's level 0, cost of 0, and it's got two abilities. One continuous, which is all of your other characters get the following ability, which is continuous. This card cannot side attack, so it's either frontal or direct attacks only. It also gets auto of pay 1 at the beginning of your encore step. If you do not have any other rested characters at center stage, you may pay the cost. If you do, rest this card. Again, I only run one of those, so again, that's just a little bit of a deck filler for me. The next one I run two of, and it is the Duty of the Two, Izuyu and Seiya. And in this one it has again two abilities of automatic. So the first one, automatic. When your character's trigger check reveals climax, choose one of your characters and that character gains +1 soul to the end of turn, which is great if you ever want to get 2 soul on the board at the start of the game. It also has an action for Brainstorm. You can pay 1 and rest this card to flip over the top 4 cards of your deck and put them into the waiting room. And each time a climax is revealed among those cards, you get to draw a card. Great little draw engine, that. Next one again I have two of, which is this one, which is Mysterious Girl Toka. Toka has two abilities again, level 0, cost 0. Continuous ability is assist. All of your characters in front of this card get 500 power. And automatic is when a climax is placed on your climax area, choose one of your characters and that character gets +1000 till end of turn. I'll run two of those. My little back row for early game to give it initial 500 power and an additional 1000 if I drop a climax into the climax zone. The next one I drop 3 of, and this one is another Highschool DxD card. This is Red-Haired Ruined Princess Rias. This one level 0, cost of 0. Your other character in the middle position of the center stage gets +500 power, and it has an auto of pay 1. And when a climax is placed in your climax area, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one believing in the same dream in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Now that one is great to get believing in the same dream back into your hand so you can play it over and over and over again. That's absolutely fantastic for this deck. Obviously I will go through the combos a little bit later on. The next one is this one, which is Master and Servant Relationship, Rias and Asia. This is a level 0 of cost 0, and it has an auto of when this card attacks, choose one of your characters and that character gains 2500 power until the end of turn. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Nice little beat stick if you can get it onto the field and boost something up by 2500 power. Next one I have 3 copies of, which is Cross-Dressing Half Vampire Gaspar. Now Gaspar is level 0 of cost 0, and it has two abilities. Auto, and you place this card into the waiting room. When your other Fantasia Bunko or demon character is frontal attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your characters in battle and that character gets 1000 power till end of turn. And for an action, pay 2 and rest the card. You choose one character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So again, this deck is a lot about character retrieval, getting the characters out onto the board quickly and easily. 1500 power, nice little early card, and it is almost like a backup in its own right, except you don't have to play it from the hand, you can play it from anywhere. So if it's in your hand you can use it, and if it is on the field you can use it. Next one I have 3 copies again, which is Gigantis Dragons Contractor Asia. So on this one, level 0 of cost 0 again. 2 auto abilities, which is the first is when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you may choose one card in your hand and put it into your stock. So it just helps build up a little bit of stock for a bit later game. Second auto is when this card becomes reversed, you cannot use Encore until the end of turn, so you can't even use the Encore 3 rule either. So again, it's a nice little level 0, cost 0, 3000 point card. Just easy to get on the board, and it gets you into obviously when it is placed on the stage, you put extra into your stock. So it's good for a little bit of late game, just in case you need any extra stock. So the next one I have is a single copy of Reward Time Rias. This one has an ability which activates once per turn. When you use an action ability, this card gets the following ability in turn of turn, where auto, when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your deck into your stock. Just helping out the stock there. Level 1 of cost 1. It has a second auto ability, which pay 1 at the beginning of your encore step. If you do not have an other rested character at the center stage, you may pay the cost, and if you do, rest this card. Right, next one I have 2 copies of, which is Swift Sword Skills Yuto. Let me just get that into position. Thank you. Alright, it's a backup for 2,500, level 1. So pay 1 and put this card from your hand into your waiting room. Choose one of your characters that is being frontal attacked, and that character gets 2,500 power till end of turn. So again, it's just a backup, just in case I need it. And normally I don't actually use it in my deck. I've played it a few times. Use it occasionally, but not very often. Just like to have it if I need it. Next one, it is Quiet White Cat Konako. Level 1, cost of 0, 2 abilities again. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, look at the top card of your deck and put it at the top of your deck or into your waiting room. The second one is when this card becomes reversed, if this battle opponent is level 1 or lower, you may reverse that card. So it's great for getting level 1 cards off the field, which may be causing you a bit of a nuisance. Okay, so next one we have, first time we have 4 copies of a card. This one is High Class Charms Rias. So 4 copies of this at level 1, cost 0. And this card only has 1 ability where it gains 500 power for each of your other Fantasia Bunko or Demon characters. So that one can theoretically get up to 6,500 on play if you have a full board, which is really good for a level 1 character. Not many that I know of that can actually get that high off a single play. If you have a couple of back rows, you might get up to 7,500. Especially with the Mysterious Girl Toki you saw earlier. If you play a climax, you can easily get up to 8,000-9,000 power just getting it on the field and playing a climax. Really, really good card. Next one, we have again 4 copies. One of which is the shiny. Let's put the shiny at the front. Let's give the shiny the level it deserves. Move it across. Still trying to figure out my new phone. Right, so there we go. Occult Research Club Head Rias. 2 abilities, 1 being a climax combo. So pay 1 when this card attacks. If a voice heard is in your climax area, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other characters and this card, they get the following ability. The ability is the battle opponent. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may choose 1 character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So again, another great character retrieval. So get some cards back into your hand, especially if you're at level 1 and you're desperate to stop thinking about playing level 2s. You can get level 2s back into your hand really easily with that card. And a voice heard is one of the climax cards. I will show you that in a moment. The next one is the first level 1 and only level 1 event card, which is Believing in the Same Dream. Now, Believing in the Same Dream works with the Redhead Rune Princess Rias. And in this one, it's a level 1 cost of 0, and you put the top 2 cards of your deck into the waiting room. Choose 1 level X or lower Fantasia Bunko or Demon character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. X is equal to the total level of those cards put into the waiting room by this effect. Climax cards are treated as level 0. So if you get a Climax card and a level 3 character, you can bring a level 3 character back into your hand. If you get a level 1 and level 1, that's a total of 2, so you can bring a level 2 back to your hand. Again, it's a great little card retrieval, especially if you've got some in your waiting room already. You play the Redhead Rune Princess Rias, and you can get 1 back into your hand. So you have 4 in your deck. I've played some games where I've played this card 8 times, and it's really, really good to get that stuff back into your hand, especially when somebody's got a nice little thing on the board that you need to get rid of. Next one, we're moving away from Highschool DxD for a moment, and we are moving to Mind Made Up Sistine. Now this one has level 2 cost of 1, and it has 2 abilities, where the first is a continuous assist, and all of your characters in front of this card get X power, where X is equal to that character's level times by 500. So obviously you can either have 0 if you're level 0, 500 power if you're level 1, 1000 power if you're level 2, or 1500 power if you are level 3. Now I've used this in conjunction with my level 3s, and I've got some really, really big power numbers. Second ability is autoed. When your climax is placed into the climax area, choose one of your characters and that character gets 1,000 power to the end of turn, which is exactly the same as the Mysterious Girl Tolka. And again, if you use that in conjunction with its continuous ability, plus a level 3 character, you can easily get your level 3 characters upwards of 14,000 power on play, which is really, really good. So we'll move on to the next level 2, which ironically is going back to Highschool DxD for a moment, and we're going to use the silver-haired former Valkyrie, or Ross Weiss. Has 2 abilities. The first one is put this card into your waiting room as a cost. When your other Fantasia Bunko or demon character is frontal attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do choose one of your characters in battle, then that character gets 3,000 power until end of turn. This was exactly the same as the gas bar card from earlier, except instead of a small amount of power, you get 3,000. And the second one is when this card becomes reversed, if the level of this card's battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you may reverse that character. So if somebody's played an early runner and say they're level 2 but their early runner is level 3, then you can easily reverse that character and get it off the field, which I think is really, really good. Next one, again, we're moving away from Highschool DxD for a moment, and we're just going to go straight into Dangerous Younger Sister Suzuka, level 2, cost of 1, a vanilla 8,500 beat stick. Well, now we're moving into the level 3s. I only have 3 level 3 cards, which obviously I'm going to try and increase that in the near future. First one, Devilish Smile Rias, level of 3, cost of 2, and on autoplay, when this card is placed on the stage from hand, you may choose one character in your hand with a level equal to or lower than your level. So that's obviously level 3, 2, 1 or 0. Put it onto any position on stage, and that character gets +1 soul and demon until end of turn. Now, when this card attacks, this card gets X power until the end of turn, where X is the number of Fantasia Bunko or demon creatures you have times 1,000. Now, that has been errated. It's supposed to mean other Fantasia Bunko or demon characters you control. So on play, if you have a full board, this is 14,000 on attack. Okay. And the last character card is Ringing Declaration Kurimu. And on this one, when this card is placed from stage to hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room, so it is a healer, and has a climax combo with Students' Council's Discretion. So when you battle opponent becomes reversed, if Student Council's Discretion is in your climax area, choose one Fantasia Bunko or Student Council character in your waiting room, put it into your stock, and deal 1 damage to your opponent, which may be cancelled. So obviously those 2 are my heavy hitters, and if I play them right, if I play Devilish Smile Rias, I can then play Kurimu for absolutely no cost. Right, moving on, we are moving on to the climax cards. So moving on from Ringing Declaration Kurimu to her climax card, which is Student Council's Discretion. It is a character searching climax card where all of your characters get +1,000 power and +1 soul, and when this card triggers, you may choose a character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The next one is a Voice Heard. We run 3 copies of a Voice Heard. Again, all of your power characters get +1,000 power and +1 soul, and again, it's a character searcher, so when triggering, you may choose one character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Obviously, that one works with the Rias from earlier, and that gives that character extra abilities. And the final card in the deck is First Friend. Now, First Friend is the absolute mainstay of my deck. I run 4 copies, and obviously on this one, it is when this card is placed into your climax area from your hand, perform the standby effect. When this card triggers, you may choose one character with a level equal to or less than your level +1 in your waiting room and put it on stage at any position as rested. Now with this one, you could be level 1, so it's lower than or equal to your level +1. So if you're level 1, you can put a level 2 character in play. If you're level 2, you can put a level 3 character in play. So it says you may choose one character with a level equal to or less than your level +1. There you go. Simple maths. So, what would I like to put in this deck to make it better? Now, what I would like to do is I would like to put at least 2 more copies of Devilish Smile Rias in there, obviously to bulk out my level 3s. I would also like to put Girl of Healing Asia into this deck. Unfortunately, the singles market for Weiss Schwarz cards being as it is right now, it's very difficult to get hold of Highschool DxD and Fantasia Bunko singles. What I might like to do is I might also like to put another copy of Made Up Mind Sistine into this deck, to bulk that up to 3. And I would also like to add one other card. Where did I put it? One other of the master-student relationship, Issei and Rias, to help bulk up the early game and getting the cards to have at least 2,500 power extra. And I would also like to put in an extra copy of Redhead Ruined Princess Rias, again just to give me that synergy with the Believing in the Same Dream cards. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my deck. Obviously there are a lot of changes that I would like to make, but like I said, because of the current market of singles, it's very difficult to get hold of any of these cards right now. And obviously I'll just try my best to see if I can find them. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and obviously if you do have any suggestions of how I can make this deck better, obviously drop a comment below for me, and I would like to hear your thoughts. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you tune in again for another video, and I will see you soon. Toodles! 私君のハートを指導しちゃうよ